So we opened the carton these came in, and basically it's a vacuum sealed package, which keeps them fresh, keeps them humidified. You don't want to leave them like this for too long. That's why I want to get them right into a humidor. They've had a long journey, but I'm looking at them very closely, and the way they vacuum seal these is excellent. The feet of the cigars are all in great shape. There are no cracks. There's nothing wrong. The shade of the cigars is beautiful. It's actually the most consistent of just about anything I've seen so far. The shade, wouldn't you agree? Look at that. There is no difference from cigar to cigar. The cigar you see in the middle there, wrapped in a little piece of cloth, that's how wonderful these guys are. They keep everything exactly the way it is when they get it. So you know you're getting the real thing. I was wondering about that, if I'd get the cigar with the cloth on it. Basically, when you buy the jar as a whole, one of the cigars in the jar is wrapped in this cloth. That is basically the first cigar you remove. It helps protect all the other cigars when they're bunched up really tight. Helps protect the bands from catching. When you stick that last cigar in there, the bands can catch, things can happen, but this basically avoids all that. So yep, that's the 25th cigar with the cloth, and they're beautiful. The bands, I can see right away, are the real thing. It's basically Siri P1 bands with one dot, and you can see on one of the bands where the end is sticking out a little bit, you can see the gold arrows, the alignment arrows, which is always a nice thing to see, knowing that these bands are very, very real. The shadowing is great on them, the color is great. They are going to be wonderful. I am not going to smoke one right away. I found, and I really didn't believe in this at first, that you should let them sit for a good week or so after shipping, but I'm a true believer now. When I got my D4s, I smoked one right away. The ones I'm smoking now are 10 times better, even if that's possible. They're unbelievable. I think maybe in the shipping, the knocking around the cigars, whatever it might be, maybe releases some tannins or activates something that just isn't as quite as pleasant as it should be. Maybe they're a little dry. I don't know what it is. But trust me, they taste better when you let them sit for a good week. And I don't want them to sit in this vacuum sealed package for that long. And I don't know if the jar is stuck somewhere and if it's going to get here on time. It should be here Monday, which is tomorrow. But we'll see. If it doesn't come right away, then at least I'll have these all lined up. So, that is a beautiful sight. 25 Siri P number ones. Short torpedoes, if you will. And they're really not that short. They're about an inch and a half or so, maybe an inch less than the P2, almost the same ring gauge, which makes this jar quite large. You're going to have it up to at least here, and then the lid with the knob, so it's going to be probably up to here or so, and the entire circumference of 25 cigars bunched together. So it's a beautiful piece, and you'll see that too when we get to it. But again, cigar1.com, no question about it, absolutely authentic, one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Cuban cigar retailers on the internet. No way you can go wrong with these guys. Just get to know them a little, be nice, be a sweetheart, and they will to you. So there you have it. So I'm going to open this package, and we'll start taking the cigars out and putting them into bags. All right, we're back. DrJoeShow.com, and what you're looking at are two packs of the P1s that came from Cigar1.com. Now, you saw that these came in a vacuum-sealed bag. It's a good idea that when you get these cigars, as soon as possible, if they're not in the box and they are in that vacuum bag the way I showed you, crack open the vacuum bag and get your cigars into some of these smaller Boveda bags with a little humidity pack. Now, These bags come with a 69% humidity pack, and that is perfect because you don't want to humidify these cigars too quickly. Basically, I've opened the vacuum sealed bag and I've put all the cigars into the Boveda bags, and the Humipack is in there. And what I do is I leave them in there for a good day or two. They're starting to feel really nice now. They're a little stiff when they come in the vacuum bag after cold weather and all. But again, you don't want to over-humidify. You don't want to blow them up. So the 69% pack for 2 days is great. And then what I'll do is I'll throw in a few of the dollar bags. They cost $1. They're 72%. I'll throw a few of them in each one. And another few days. And basically, whenever cigars are shipped to you, you do want to wait at least a week. Most people will smoke one right away, but trust me, let them sit. What happens is, in shipping, the cigars are banged around, bumped around a lot. And believe it or not, it's a chemical reaction. Believe it or not, it dries the cigars out. If they're vacuum sealed, all the air is sucked out. The oils are kind of put on hold, and the cigar stops maturing. And the cigar is not going to taste as good as it would if you let it sit and replenish itself for a little while. Once you let it sit for a week, the oils start working again, running again, tannins are being produced, their chemical reaction begins again, and the cigars will taste a lot better. So, that's what I did, and in the meantime, I waited for the other part of this little thing, where all the cigars are going to go. So we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to talk about collectible cigar items. Oh, big box. So, here's our box, and we're basically just going to open that up. Swiss Post. Okay, and okay. Well, really should have some better equipment, but does anybody notice I'm really not good at opening things? Ah, there we go. Whew. What do we have here? Wow. Wow, man. Holy crap, am I excited. Now, collectible cigar. You know, this thing keeps going over the camera. I hate this case. Somebody send me a new case, please. Collectible cigar memorabilia and stuff. One of the things about collecting cigars is it's hard to kind of sell them back, you know. Not that I sell any at all. What I'm talking about are things like this. This is a ceramic humidor jar. I collect them. They're beautiful, and I'm starting a new collection. This is the first one of the lot, and we have a case cabinet for them. So basically, you're going to see in each episode a new jar, and you're going to see the cabinet start to build up with our collection. And if you follow along and you have the money, you can order these for yourself from the vendors we recommend or whatever, and build the same kind of collection. Now, these are highly desirable among cigar aficionados and even just people who enjoy cigars in general. They're really decorative. They're very well made. They are not made in Cuba. They're actually made in Spain under a guy called Byron, okay, who's very famous for his work with ceramic and whatnot. Basically, there's a couple of different series that make these jars. This jar is actually part of a series known as Travel Retail Selection. It's made for German and Swiss markets only, and a total of 5,000 were produced worldwide. So, very collectible, and, you know, it's aesthetics too. If you look at something, I'm good at that because I do my knife sight and I know what's hot and what's not. And when you look at something and say, you know what, it's limited, and when people see it, the first thing that hits them in the head is, I want that. That's collectability. And resale value on these jars, say I buy this jar, first of all, it comes with 25 cigars, so that's really nice, you know. The jar, the whole thing, costs a little over $400. But 10 years from now, when this jar is off the market and unavailable, you could probably sell it for $700 to a really interested collector, maybe $800, and then 20, 30 years from now, you know, it starts to become antique status. People really like this stuff. So, like knives, these humidor jars can become highly collectible. Some are rarer than others, some are more common, but we'll tell you all about that as we get them and as we open them, what they are, how many were made, what they're worth, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this happens to still be available on certain sites, but they're starting to get low. They're starting to really sell out of these. It's been online for a few years now. I believe it's a 2009 release. Not positive, but we'll see. So let's start taking a look at it. Basically, this thing is head to heels beautiful, amazing. The way it's packed, the way it just... Okay. Siri P #1. Now, Siri P, everybody knows, is a Torpedo cigar by Partagas. Very, very nice. Okay. And wow. Start looking at that. Now, again, from cigar1.com. You know, this stuff comes from warehouses, and I know if it was the guy I talked to himself, he would never have done this, but they cut the thing off and they left a mark in the box. You know, that wasn't very thoughtful. Idiots. But what are you going to do? Big deal. I'm looking at this here, and got the hologram, little hole. Everything looks fine. Serial number is off, as it always is. You know, whatever. But it look, you know, it's funny because of course it was open because the cigars are out of it. So we're gonna take this off. Really, really beautiful box. Really gorgeous box. You know, this is how it should come. It has the ropes at the side. Believe it or not, they will counterfeit these things. There are counterfeit jars on the market. One of the big examples is the Cohiba Millennium jar. There was information somewhere that they made one with Siglo 6s in them or something when they never did that. It's a fake jar. So, this is real. Just like the boxes, it comes with the Cuban seal, comes with the Habano sticker, okay? Up there on the corner, so that's fine. And, you know, this is probably, I don't know if it's ever going to come off the right way, now that they kind of cut it the way they did. It's ripping. So you know what? I'm probably going to fix this up a little later and just kind of, you know, put the box back together. I don't know if I go like this, you know, probably just leave it like so. Because sometimes the box is so nice, we want to display it with the jar. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So let's see what's inside.